So does it benefit the auxiliary? You bet. We've gotten, this region is the nation's #1 recruiting hotbed for the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Imagine that. In sales, we call them hot contacts or hot leads. Those green members turn them blue. How many here believe you have to have a boat to be in the auxiliary?
You just said you don't.
See?
I did.
She did. You don't. And I'll tell you, you can do anything in the Coast Guard Auxiliary that you do in the Coast Guard except wear a weapon and point it at somebody. Essentially, you can't do law enforcement. But if you're in the human resource management, administration, you want to do public affairs.
Here I am.
Teaching, yes. Any other questions about, what do you do in your profession, your professional lives? Anybody? Sir, you. What did you do?
I'm retired, electronic engineering.
You want to do electronic engineering in the auxiliary? You got it. Anybody else? Sir, ma'am.
Helicopter.
Yes.
Helicopter.
Yes. Anybody else? Come on. Yes, you can help. Okay. I'm serious. Yeah, we do. We have a medical corps. And especially for disaster response. If we knew that you had medical training, we held you in reserve if you didn't want to do anything else, but you could be response to a major disaster.
I was a dental tech in the Coast Guard.
You can deliver gas, right? You can deliver. You know my gums. Okay. Anyway, I'm diverting. So back on target here. This is a broadcast I can show you. MDA defined. Not that it. MDA is Homeland Security, Homeland Defense, and other interests. These are the customer bases as is spelled out in doctrine. Where the overlap is MDA. My point being, and I've been hitting the owners of MDA, there's no place for citizens other than call in on this passive phone number that nobody remembers. So I've been hitting them hard on this for years. I said, your citizen engagement is not necessarily working. There's no place in here. This is an official explanation, kind of complex, isn't it, of how information and the operation picture works. But again, you look at the inputs. Strike teams, PSGs, there's no place. They've got first responders, law enforcement. Where is concerned citizens on this chart? There isn't any. Okay? Again, when we have a volume of calls coming into the Coast Guard and our partnering agencies, we like to narrow it down to actionable intelligence or actionable search area or ruling in or ruling out. Even if you call in and you're on a case and you say, I see nothing, that's positive because we know where not to search. You're narrowing down these opportunities to get to the best place. Here's some successes. Tore down a meth lab after somebody reported an unusual activity. Bomb scares on a bridge. We were the first ones there. We have people here and people on this shore triangulating on these bridge abutments and checking their marinas before the Highway Patrol, the Coast Guard even got on scene. Boats coming across the border, tracking them. This canister washed up on this CAN member's beach. They sent in that very photo to the command center, said, hey, this crazy canister just washed up on my beach. He took a few more pictures. They identified it as poison. And they had him stay away, and they came and got it, and they removed it. The investigators did. There's a partnership. Chinese migrants stowed away on this vessel. Here's an arrest of a guy who took a hostage. The guy took a hostage on a 42-foot yacht and struck out into the South Puget Sound. Hundreds of miles of waterways down there, dozens of islands. We sent a boat and an aircraft. 45 minutes to an hour to get on scene. One Marine sheriff got underway. Where was he? Who knew? We stood up a network of 16 of folks like y'all. We have one guy here from Tacoma who might have... Oh, that's just my phone. This gentleman's from Tacoma. All the way from Tacoma. Anybody else further than him? Because he's going to get an award, I think. Furthest CAN member. Anyway, from Tacoma South in the Puget Sound, they stood up 16 members. This is a great background. And they networked with the command center in a live watch. They stood everybody up, and they said, maintain a lookout until we stand you down. And if you see a description of this vessel, let us know. So based on negative reports, I don't see anything, or no reports, as opposed to, I think I see a vessel that matches that description, I think I see one over here, we were able to write to those vessels, and guess what? We made an arrest and freed the hostage. Secretary Chertoff recognized that case and gave the network the Excellence Award that year for the Coast Guard. Homeland Security Excellence Award. Good stuff. There's again, unfortunately these video files aren't connected because I moved this to the internet at the last minute. Here's a story from March 2007. A stolen boat. The RCMP has a problem with Hells Angels, stolen boats, properties, Vietnamese gangs. They're moving drugs and money. There's cocaine going back and forth. It's crazy. I did an operation up in the San Juans a few years ago. I was on a patrol boat, and using my Puerto Rican experience, I split my boats up and hid behind islands. And so as people came through the islands, we pounced. Every vessel I went on board had drugs on it, every one of them. Just to let you know, it's going on.
Wow.
Anyway, we had this 28-foot Boston whaler stolen. They thought it was gang activity, Hells Angels trying to get cash. This time they felt that perhaps they'd go into U.S. waters. So they stood up to traditional methods to stop this vessel, to identify it. High-tech solutions, assets on the lookout, be on the lookout for. And they said, oh yeah, by the way, we might as well stand up the network. So they sent out an auto alert. Who got an auto alert this week?
Yeah.
Another stolen boat, okay. Much like that, the next day they sent photos like you got. And they found it, all the way down south by Olympia in a place called Boston Harbor. It was fueling up. The guy lived above the marina, saw it.
That was that Sholo or
No.
the one they just called on?
This was 2007. man.
Oh.
Anyway, so what happened is law enforcement went down there, saw the vessel leaving, and tracked it, drove around, tracked it to where it went. It went to a boat chop shop. They set up surveillance for a few weeks, and they got license plates, they got photos. You didn't want to be there during those weeks. They got the boat back, and they made some arrests. Ta-da! Simple, easy, effective? I think so. Those are the folks you got to call. Just my call, I got this follow-up. Anyway, there was a study done on the network a couple years ago, essentially saying this. When people identify with the Coast Guard or Border Patrol, they have goal clarity, mutual understanding, they trust and have access. Guess what you get out of this? Vigilance, right? Does it make sense? If you're getting routine news and information, you care about the maritime domain, you live on the beach, to me it's rather simple. Again, you can develop a partnership based on vigilance and reporting. The study proved this. It showed it in scientific terms, social science terms. Research. Okay, this is somebody's home. They've established a video camera on the roof, and they've given the Coast Guard access to it. If that was a government contract, I'm guessing it would have been $250,000 to get the camera put up, about $70,000 to have somebody monitor it, and then a recapitalization every couple of years, about 50 to 60 to keep it going. This cost us, how much? You're very good at it. How much does this cost?
I'm guessing a remote camera cost about $600.
How much does it cost Coast Guard?
I don't know.
The answer is? Zero. It's nothing. The best deal in government, I say. That's just me. Nothing. Now, that same camera, get this. I mean, it's kind of a tragic story, but a call went out to C.A.N on the coast of Oregon. That's where this is. Fishing vessel, oh gosh, I forget the name. About a 45-foot fishing vessel, 3 people on board, underway in heavy seas. They're being escorted out by a Coast Guard 47-footer. C.A.N member says, okay, I got my camera on, I'm recording. They get out there, the fishing vessel comes to starboard and goes beam to in a heavy sea. Is that a good idea?
No.
Man, they should have been at some of these Coast Guard auxiliary boating safety courses and navigation courses. Apparently not. Honestly, tragic. They come around, then they go stern to the sea and pitch pull and roll. They lost their power, lights go out. 2 waves later, they're up on the rocks. 3 people in the water. 2 got battered, 1 got saved. Coast Guard 47 rushes in and then backs off because of safety concerns. They had to wait until the people got clear of the rocks. But that's all on video. And you can see that at home if you type in Citizens Action Network video, I don't know, fishing vessel perhaps. It'll come up. It's on the internet now. But it says Citizens Action Network video. Again, is it valuable? Yes. There's a marine investigation that happens after that. The video is invaluable. But it shows that it can be done with citizen help.